So for the manufacturers that are in the room, whether they've been in business for 2 years or they've been in the business for 35 years, explain the impact for everybody of a bad pitch, whether it impacts the manufacturer itself or the sales individual itself, and what you're going to do in the future the next time you hear from them.
Yeah, put yourself in the position of your audience, and you're not the only person training them. And it's a lot of what comes out is, hey, my product is this much better, faster, brighter than my competitor's product. And the customer's just thinking, hey, I want to throw some light on the corner of the room over here. They're not worrying about supplier A versus supplier B. They've got a problem that they've got a dark corner of the room that they want to fix it. So it's really just position it that way. So what it does is it makes people turn off on the training, and it's hard to turn people back on once you turn them on.
And so if I'm a manufacturer, Don or John, what do I have to do? What's my checklist before I do a sales pitch to a distributor to make sure that all the key aspects have been filled so that I'm not having a bad pitch and possibly ruining a relationship?
It's a big thing. With our team, you can have all these great features and they can be really cool stuff, but it's so what? Why is that important to whoever it is you're talking to, whether it's the distributor or the contractor or ultimately the end user? So it's really all about talking about the so what, why it's relevant or important to do that. And the other part is you have to do your homework. You have to know what the applications are, what's the opportunity, because not all new products meet all profiles of every one of our distributors in the marketplace. Some focus on different segments of the marketplace. You got to know that going in, so why try to go in and promote a solution that doesn't really make sense or isn't relevant to them across the board. I think the other part is you got to have your homework done. You got to, when you walk into that presentation, you have to have all the information ready, prepared, loaded. And I think the biggest thing, when I think about it in terms of what Aaron has said, Chris, is you have to understand each of your customers and what they need to drive that through their organization across the board.
Don, leaning forward again. Go ahead.
This is where your rep is essential. We go to market exclusively through independent electrical manufacturers representatives. 43 of them in North America. At any given time, that's around 265 salespeople on the street. When it comes to training, the rep is essential. First of all, you got to make sure the reps train properly. But frankly, for most of these kinds of things, we want one of the Arlington sales managers to be in attendance at it. And then the rep helps to prep us. I mean, if we're going to Van Meter, I'll now know, let's call Aaron and get the list. So we make sure that we do the presentation the right way. And I've been to the Crescent meeting the last couple of years, although I haven't been asked to present, so I guess I know why. So I'll have to work with Chris to make sure we can work on that. But in a normal situation where I come into a territory to work with a rep and we're going to do a training, lunch and learn, a couple of sessions as they split the staff up, I don't want to walk into that cold. I ask the rep a bunch of questions and I tell them what I expect, and who's the audience, who's in there, is it the outside staff, inside staff, counter people, all that kind of stuff. So more formalized, more structured, I'd like.
So from a manufacturer's side then, do you test, which might not be the best word to use, your sales reps to make sure that they know what to hold and they're going to have a good pitch? And what do you do to test your sales reps to make sure that you're not going to have bad sales pitches so people here can understand, don't make that mistake?
We invest a lot in sales training, so not just in new products. We have a tremendous amount of skills-based training on sales and presentation and features and benefits. We do a lot of we use a course called conceptual selling, and and our managers really, as they're traveling with their teams, are really focused on: are you asking the right questions? Are you trying to uncover the need behind the need type piece of it? So that's in our DNA. It's part of what we call sales productivity at Legrand, and part of it. The other thing when we launch a product is we do the call to pre-launch the product to the field, especially if it's a major platform type solution. And then it's the responsibility of the territory managers that we want them to do role playing at their monthly team meeting. So they'll take a product, they get together once a month to talk about our business, talk about the projects they're working on, all that kind of stuff. But they'll take a major product launch and have somebody prepared to do that presentation, and then critique yourself as a group to make sure that they're prepared and as a team to go out and grow that marketplace, and our managers get part of that as well. So we definitely spend a lot of time in preparing people to do that properly, so you don't go out and embarrass more job.
Sure. And Mike, it ends up with you again. The product, so you're the rubber hits the road guy. So in terms of new products that don't get into the, again, your distributor partner's hands, and then you see them someplace else, maybe the result of a bad sales pitch, what does that do to you and your business?
The way we look at this is that, kind of like Don and John were describing, is that an effective presentation to us is one that includes both the manufacturers via themselves or their reps, as well as how they're supported by this distributor that we do business with. And that's the most cohesive approach or presentation for us.